Imagine a windowless room inside a top-secret military facility at Fort Meade, Maryland. The year is 1979, at the height of the Cold War. A man sits alone in a chair, slowly slipping into a trance. An intelligence officer from the CIA hands him a sealed envelope. Inside, there is no photograph, no name, no clues, just a set of geographic coordinates. The man has never left the United States. He has no satellite imagery, no surveillance feed, no radio transmission. But inside his mind, he is traveling thousands of miles away, deep into the Soviet Union. He begins to speak. He describes a massive industrial structure. He smells welding fumes and salt water. Then he starts drawing something that, according to the US Navy, does not exist. A submarine. Not just any submarine, but a gigantic Soviet nuclear submarine, larger than anything ever built. The US military generals laughed. They said it was impossible. 4 months later, CIA spy satellites passed over those exact coordinates. And there it was, the Typhoon-class submarine, the largest submarine ever constructed, exactly where the so-called psychic spy said it would be. Was this luck? Was it coincidence? Or did the United States government successfully weaponize the human mind? Welcome to Dark Files USA. Today, we are declassifying the CIA's psychic spy program. This is the story of Project Stargate. To understand why the US government spent over $20 million on something that sounds like science fiction, you must understand the fear of the Cold War. This wasn't just about nuclear weapons. It was an arms race of the mind. In the early 1970s, American intelligence agencies received disturbing reports. The KGB and the Soviet Union were pouring millions into psychotronics, a classified field studying mind control, telepathy, and psychic warfare. The Pentagon panicked. The fear wasn't that the Soviets could read minds. The fear was that they could kill with them. Or worse, steal nuclear launch codes without ever entering the room. If there was even a 1% chance this was real, the United States military could not afford to fall behind. So the CIA and the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, made a radical decision. They partnered with the Stanford Research Institute, SRI. Their mission was simple, but terrifying. Find people who could see the invisible. The technique was called remote viewing, the alleged ability to gather intelligence information from distant locations using only the human consciousness. The program went by many classified names: Project Grill Flame, Project Sunstreak, and finally, Project Stargate. The goal never changed. Train a soldier to project their awareness anywhere on Earth, and return with classified military intelligence. Enter Ingo Swann. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't a spy. He was a New York artist who claimed he could travel through space and time with his mind. Scientists at Stanford Research Institute decided to test him. In 1973, years before NASA's Voyager mission, Swann was asked to remote view Jupiter. He closed his eyes. Minutes later, he described something impossible. He said Jupiter had rings. At the time, astronomers knew about Jupiter's moons, but not rings. They believed Swann was hallucinating. 6 years later, Voyager 1 reached Jupiter. The photographs came back. There were rings. Ingo Swann was right. Then came Uri Geller, the infamous spoonbender. According to declassified CIA documents, Geller was locked inside a shielded room. No mirrors. No communication. In another room, a scientist randomly drew a picture. A bunch of grapes. Geller, isolated and monitored, drew the exact same image. The CIA's conclusion was shocking. As a result of Geller's success, we consider that he has demonstrated paranormal perceptual ability in a convincing and unambiguous manner. The U.S. intelligence community was convinced. It was time to take this from the laboratory to the battlefield. The star of Project Stargate was Joseph McMoneagle, known as Remote Viewer Number 1. He didn't use crystal balls. He used military discipline. In 1979, a U.S. spy plane crashed in the jungles of Zaire, modern DR Congo, carrying top-secret military technology. Satellites couldn't locate it. Search teams failed. Desperate, the U.S. Air Force called the Psychic Spy Unit. McMoneagle was given only a map of Africa. Hours later, he circled a tiny spot and said, "The plane is here. It's not burned. Villagers are dismantling it." Rescue teams arrived. The plane was there, and local tribesmen were stripping its electronics. Exactly as described. As confidence grew, so did the risks. CIA remote viewers were tasked with viewing inside the Kremlin, locating Soviet biological weapons, sensing the thoughts of foreign leaders. But there was a price. Documents report. Psychological breakdowns. Extreme exhaustion. Terrifying visions. When you open doors to the unknown, you don't control what comes back. One of the most bizarre sessions occurred in 1984. A viewer received coordinates, not on Earth, but Mars. Not modern Mars. Mars, 1 million years ago. The CIA transcript, still available online, describes tall shadow beings, massive ancient structures, a dying civilization searching for refuge. Was this imagination? Or did Project Stargate go too far? By 1995, the Cold War had ended. The Soviet Union collapsed. The CIA ordered an external review, the AIR report. The conclusion: they admitted a statistical anomaly existed, something beyond chance, but it wasn't reliable enough for military operations. On paper, Project Stargate was terminated. The files were declassified. The unit disbanded. Or was it? If the U.S. military discovered a way to spy anywhere on Earth without leaving a trace, would they really abandon it? Or would they simply change the name? Many researchers believe psychic espionage never ended. It just went black budget. In a world of AI, cyber warfare, and psychological operations, the ultimate weapon may still be the human mind. So what do you think? Was Project Stargate a failure? Or a secret still watching us today? Let me know in the comments. This is Dark Files USA. Don't blink.